While the child was moving between the dark rooms, he felt cold breaths passing by him as if something was watching him. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him, so he turned quickly, but found no one. His heart began to race, and sweat started pouring from his forehead. In one of the rooms, he found an old cracked mirror, and when he looked into it, he saw a reflection that was not his. The face in the mirror was pale, and its eyes were empty of life. The child stepped back, but his hand collided with something cold. He slowly turned to find a ghostly hand gripping his shoulder. He tried to scream, but his voice wouldn't come out. The child dashed away in fear, to another room, which was darker and colder. In the middle of the room, there was an old broken toy. He cautiously approached it, but the toy began to move slowly on its own. Faint children's laughter erupted from all sides, as if it were coming from the walls. Suddenly, a back door opened with a loud noise and a dim light emanated from it. Without thinking, the child rushed toward it. But when he passed through, he found himself in the same place he had started from, as if the house were playing with him. While the child stood confused in the same spot he began, he heard whispers approaching him. The ground beneath him gently trembled, and the shadows around him grew more intertwined as if surrounding him. At that moment, he felt something invisible gripping his feet, and he could no longer move. The walls began to close in, and the darkness swallowed everything around him. In that moment, he heard a deep voice say, "You chose to enter, and there is no way out." The child tried to scream again, but his voice choked in his throat. Little by little, the features of the place began to dissolve, and the child disappeared into a whirlpool of darkness, not knowing if he would reappear or remain trapped in an endless nightmare. Thus, the mysterious house awaited a new visitor to begin the same deadly game with him.